Welcome to Yeshiva Daf Shkispan Solu Nishmas Am Yakashom Ne'avas Yitzchok. We're holding in Basra Daf Nun Hey. We're starting right before the wide lines. Omar Rabba, Aniklas Mili Ishtoili Ukvorn Bar Nechem Merish Kaluso Mishvei Shmuel. Says Rabbo, there's three things that Ugar Nechem said. He was Reish Kaluso in the name of Shmuel. Three things. And all these three things have to do with Din Machusadino that we mentioned in the previous daf. Dino de Machusadino. A. B. Arisusu de Parsoya da Boim Shoy. The Chazako, the Bible says Arisusu, but the fix over here Arishan, which Arishan means Chazako, and so learns the Rashbam. We're talking about a Chazako. So he's saying like this. The Chazaka Parsoya is 40 years, not 3 years. According to one Pshat in the Rashbam. We have a klal of 3 years Chazaka. By Persia, they made a new rule, has to be 40 years. The Hani Zaruri, the Zovin Aru Letasko, Zavninu Zvini. These people, these Zaruri. What is Zaruri? Says the Rashbam. The Zaruri is Hashem Nachlash Kur Zaharo. So what does it mean? You're saying like this, that someone who sells the land for the taxes, in other words, that they come and take the land for taxes. You take away the land for taxes. Right? Then what? Look at Lashon Rashbam. Rashbam says, Zaru Hashem Nachash Kur Zahar Kapek Amar Sabayis. The only Zahar Afilu Bustinei These all dealing with the what? That if a land sold did not pay taxes, you could sell the land for the taxes. Now you have a tax lien. That's how it works. Says the Gemara, what's Tasko? Tasko is a land tax. So you have to pay taxes from the land. Someone did not pay it, you could sell it. But about the cargo, what's the cargo? The cargo, as I'm going to explain in a moment, is a tax which is on the person. Every person has to pay his own taxes. So it doesn't only do with the land. Look, now you can't sell the land for that. My time at cargo, the Gavri Maruch. So everyone understands there are taxes associated with the land. The king says, whoever pays the tax of the land will get the land. But a tax that belongs to each person, and now they sell the land for it, everyone understands right now that's nothing to do with the land, and therefore you cannot take that land. He disagrees, according to the Rashbam. Yeshua says, even if you have barley in a barrel, it's also, the person doesn't pay taxes, so then there's a tax lien as well. And you can take anything you want. The king can take the land as well. If you tell me that whenever you have old taxes, so the king has the right to take away the land. So a person dies and he has tax loans, call it. He has obligation to the king. So right now the king can take the land. The king has the right for the land. He didn't take it. Good for that. But the B'chor should not take double. Because the B'chor takes double only something which a father right now holds in his hand. If you owe taxes, you're not holding it in the hand. It belongs to the king. The king may take it, may not take it. But right now, it's roy. It's not chazaka by you. So therefore, says the Gemara, you're taking away Yerusha's b'nai B'chor. There won't be double by B'chor because he can't take double by something which a father is not holding. So he says, in other words, now that you said that any tax can be associated with the land, so any person that dies, you understand, most people will have taxes that they owe, and the land doesn't belong to them, or at least it's not definitely theirs. It's only a right to be theirs if they pay the taxes. So the poor cannot take double. Tashman says that's such a big question again, because you can say, yes, we'll talk about a case, that person did pay his taxes. Okay. So he tells him, according to you, forget about cargo which goes on the person's head. Every land also may have taxes. We said before, he did pay his taxes and he died. He paid his taxes and he died. So everyone understands that the taxes that go to a person, more of a tendency, they didn't pay it when he died. But the land tax, people pay in advance. That's what we understood in the question. Well, says, no, we're talking about a case. You're right. If he didn't pay his taxes, the party won't take double. Omar Rashi, Omali, Huno Bar Nosson. Huno said, Shaltinu Lisafre de Rovo. We asked the Seifrim of Rovo. What did he say? That you could take taxes, you could take a land for any tax lien, even a tax lien which is not a land tax. He said, well, no, we don't pass it that way. So why did the Safra de Rovo say this way? The only reason they did it because they many times they approved, they wrote a document of a sale of a tax for a tax lien. They accepted. They provided shtar saying that a land that was sold for taxes is a good sale. Oh, if that's the case, they want to say that these things work. They, so to speak, were advocating for themselves. Says the Gemara, V'omar Rashi, Pardachas Messiah Mosad. Of course, why is this over here? But we said like this: when you have Pardochas, so Messiah Mato, what does it mean? There's a certain tax that the Pardochas, who's the Pardochas? Says the Rashbam, is a lazy person who doesn't do anything. He doesn't have anything. So if they saved him from the king's police go around and they try to collect the money. If these people, this guy, this lazy person, was saved for paying taxes, so what does that mean? That means that he really should pay the tax. But the people of the city were nice enough to tell the police, leave him alone. He's leave him alone. So he eventually needs to pay it off. That's what it says. Pardachas, the lazy person, Messiah has to help the people of the city. That's only if the people of the city helped him out. In other words, the king gave a tax on the city. You guys have to give $100,000. And the police are going from person to person. The people in the city say, leave this guy alone. He's a lo yitzlach. He can't pay his taxes. So then you say, eventually he does have to pay. Aval, and this key, what is this key? This key is that they're in charge of the king and they don't go to the city and the city is responsible to pay. They go for each individual person. They send stars, they send tax bills to people's houses. They're not persuaded by people telling them not to go to this person. And they decide not to collect tax from this person. Siyata dishmaya. That's siyata dishmaya. In other words, when a person was exempt from taxes, it was because the people of the city helped him out. So he owes it to them. If it's because just the king's people just figure out, leave him alone, so then he doesn't owe it, the siyata dishmaya doesn't have to participate in the tax. To split the car, because we learned before, when a person buys nichsager, according at least to one shito, he gets the whole field, but only the field itself, not the next field. What splits two fields? Before we learned about a wall. It says there's other things. Meitzar. What is a meitzar? The meitzar means that you have a border in between. That's meitzar. And the second thing is chotzov. Chotzov is a type of plant that Yeshua used in the Eretz Yisrael. It goes straight down, doesn't split to the sides, and that's how they divide the land. So a chotzov is a type of land that you use it as a marker to divide land. So if you have that nichsager, that stops nichsager. Regarding peya and tumo, does not divide the land. Says the Gemara, it does divide for peya and tumo. What does it mean peya and tumo? So more explains. Peya mahi. What's peya? Now the elum of seeking the peya. But peya, you have to give for every field. You have to give a corner of the field to that name. That's called peya. One peya per field. If you have two fields, you have to give two payas. What makes a difference? How do you decide if it's one field or two fields? Well, it depends if it was divided in between. Hanochol is a river. Or Vashlulis, where you have rainwater being stored in one place. Continues the Gemara that with base. Vederech harabim, which is, regular big street, 16 amot rechav. V'derech hayachid is only 4 amos. V'shvila rabim, the people walk there. It's not a big street. The people just walk there. V'shvila yachid, which is a small pathway for yachid. The Rambam says, I don't have to say all the cases. Of course, shvila yachid works. So of course, all the other ones. But I just said it just to bring all the cases. Today's wants to say that there's a tzrichusa why I need each one. I want to say that shvila yachid works for zroim, that one type of seeds, and then charabin it works for the trees. Okay. So the din is that's a hefsek, and the din is when we speak about shvilim, it's only if it's there for the summer and the winter. So that's when you have a split. So the question is, does Meitzav and Chotzav also a split? And that's a discussion we went before. Tumah Mai, what about Tumah? Nan, says the Mishnah. Someone goes into a valley in time of rain. The Tumah besod place, and there's a field. One of the fields in this valley has a Tumah. So I went to this valley, but I don't know if I went to this field or not. If I'm not sure if I touched tumah or not, it's a suffix, then the din is that you're tummy. But without a suffix, if you went to the field, it's tar. Why is that so? So here we have a lot of shittas in the Rishonim. The Rashbam learns the pshat is something be it's a sfek fake. Something is that he touched the tumah or not. Now, if he's not even sure if he went to the field, so it's a double suffix. Did he go into it? And if he went into it, he touched the tumah. So that's why if it's suffix tumah, so then it's tummy. Suffix bio, which is a double suffix yutar. That's what he says. So Rashi, that is quotes over here, says that it's a cloud. Always suffix bio is during the saita. And Yitar, even if it's only one suffix. And then there's another pshat. There's a big discussion in the Rishonim regarding this thing. But anyway, for our sugi, what do we need to know? That if it's one big field, and you go in there, you become tummy. If it's a few fields, I'm not sure if you went in there, it's dark. What divides the fields? So that's the more said over here. Question about discussion of the Meitzah and the Chotzav is dividing it. So the Shabbos law, even if you hold that it's dividing for Tumah and for Peyo, doesn't divide for Shabbos. So what does it mean dividing for Shabbos? Once before that, Rav Omar feeling on Shabbos. What is it? Tanya. Hoyti chatzi gorgeres l'rishus rabim v'inicho. V'chol hoyti chatzi gorgeres achaz be'elam echot chayof p'shtei alomos potter. So when on Shabbos, when a person takes out a fig from Rishus HaYachid to Rishus Rabim, he's chayof. Has to be a full fig. If he did only half a fig, he's not chayav. But if he did half a fig, and then another half a fig, then join together to be chayav. But if he did half a fig, so that's what it says over here. It says more now, if it's helam echot, he still didn't remember in between, it joins together. 2 alamis, you remember in between, it divides it, it's different things. Beisyoimer, behelam echot, and one forgetting, it went to the same place, chayav. B'shtei rishus potter, 2 rishus potter. What does it mean 2 rishus? This is an interesting concept. 2 rishus arabims. If he went, let's say he has a house, and goes from this house to the right, he goes to one street, half a gergeres. And then he goes with half a gergeres to the other street, they don't join together. It has to be in the same location. Now what splits the rishus arabim? It needs to be that between the 2 rishus arabim, there is rishus hayachid that splits it. So it's chiyuv chatos, because in Shabbos, going from rishus hayachid to rishus arabim, rishus arabim to rishus hayachid, person is chayav chatos. It needs to be a full rishus mid'oraisa to consider to be 2 rishus arabim. If it's a karmelis, without going into all the details, but karmelis it's only rishus mid'orabanan. So what splits the 2 rishus arabim is something which is only derabanan. That's not a good split. Karmelis, Pisla means it's not important rishus. It's a piece of wood. Even a piece of wood. The Rava goes to Shitosoi. Rava compared Shabbos to Gittin. Dami. And by Gittin we learn that, what do we learn by Gittin? That if a husband lend this location to his wife to get the get, and the get went somewhere else, it's not a get. Said the Rava, if it went on a pislo, on a piece of wood, it's not part of what the husband gave her. So pislo makes it its own rishus. So what do we see over here? You need to come and split rishus, so we're having to do. What splits it? So we have a discussion, rishus hayachid, karmelis, pislo is called bakaptur. What about if you have in between a meitzah or a chatzov? That's what we said before. Discussion regarding Shabbos, does it work or not to work? Let's just conclude the sugya. So we learned the whole sugya is meitzah and chatzov. Meitzah is a border, chatzov is that plant. We said divide the nichse agir. Discussion regarding peyo, discussion regarding tumah, and discussion regarding Shabbos. Says the Gemara, ain't shalom meitzah v'lechatzov mai. What happens if you have no meitzah, no border, and no chatzov? Pirish or mirimis v'shmoi. Call mishmoi pashas. What does it mean mishmoi? The shmoi shabir. That's what the Rashbam says. Call shenikres hashmoi. As long as the field is called the field of this person. Hevidami rapapa de korli begarguso de palmio. Say it's the base garguso. It's the garguso is the pit where you take water to water the field. See, this field is the field of the watering of this person. So as long as it's called one, this whole area, the whole territory belongs to Shvera, it's one field. Once it's called, in other words, you go with the name of it, as long as it's called this way. And as Rashbam says, if one pit fills up the whole field, it's going to be one big field, it's big agato, and that is how you say this is one field. If you don't have a border, you don't have a chatzov. Call to have a wonderful day.